Welcome back to Chalkline Crime, and this week's installment of our educational cold case series travelling to our current home in beautiful sunny California for two chilling cases. In our first case, we visit the darkest corners of Los Angeles County, where a chilling mystery unfolds. The enigma of Matrice Richardson's death has been haunting the minds of investigators and true crime enthusiasts alike. A tale where pieces of the puzzle just don't seem to fit together, a tale that leaves more questions than answers. Matrice Lavon Richardson, a vibrant 24-year-old woman with a psychology degree, was living a life full of promise. But on a fateful night in September of 2009, she vanished into the abyss, only to be found 11 months later in a remote canyon, her death shrouded in mystery. The events leading up to Matrice's disappearance and subsequent death began innocently enough. On the evening of September 16, 2009, Matrice was dining at Jeffrey's, a high-end restaurant in Malibu. But when the bill arrived, Matrice was unable to pay. The restaurant staff, finding her behavior peculiar, called the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. The deputies arrived, conducted a field sobriety test which Matrice passed. Despite this, they arrested her on the suspicion of being unable to care for her own safety. Her car, which contained her purse, cell phone and money, was impounded. She was taken to the Lost Hills Sheriff's Station and held overnight. In the early hours of September 17th, Matrice was released alone into the dead of night. She had no car, no phone, no money, and the sheriff's station was miles away from any residential area. This would be the last time Matrice was seen alive. 11 months later, Matrice's remains were found in a remote canyon, only a few miles from the sheriff's station. The circumstances of her death remain as elusive as the night she disappeared. With no clear cause of death, the mystery of what happened to Matrice Richardson after she left the Lost Hills Sheriff's Station remains unsolved. To summarize this chilling tale, Matrice Richardson, a young woman full of life and promise, dined at a restaurant but was unable to pay her bill. The police were called, and even though she passed a sobriety test, she was arrested and her belongings impounded. In the dead of night, Matrice was released from custody with no means of transportation or communication. She was never seen alive again. Her remains were found nearly a year later in a remote area, the cause of her death a mystery that continues to baffle investigators and enthusiasts alike. Could there have been foul play? Was it a tragic accident? Or is there something more sinister at play? The truth, it seems, may remain as elusive as the woman herself. There is a $40,000 reward for information about the death of Matrice Richardson. Call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS 8477. In our second case, have you ever wondered how a person can vanish into thin air, leaving no trace behind? Such is the enigma of Carly Goose's disappearance. On the chilly morning of October 13th, 2018, in the small town of Chalfont, California, a bright and vivacious 16-year-old girl named Carly Goose disappeared. Like a ghost, she seemed to have vanished, leaving behind a trail of questions more baffling than the next. Carly was last seen by her stepmother, Melissa, who reported that the teenager had spent the previous evening at a local party. She returned home under the influence, disoriented and anxious. Melissa stayed up with Carly until the early hours of the morning, trying to comfort her. By the first light of dawn, Carly had seemingly evaporated into the desolate desert landscape. Melissa reported that she'd checked on Carly at around 5:30 in the morning, and the girl was sleeping soundly in her bed. However, when Melissa returned to check on her once more at around 7:15, Carly was gone. Despite the extensive searches that followed, no trace of Carly was ever found. No footprints, no clothing, not a single strand of hair. It was as if she had been plucked from existence. The community rallied together, combing through miles of desert, distributing flyers and appealing to the public for any shred of information. Yet the investigation seemed to hit a dead end at every turn. Carly's biological parents, Lindsay and Zachary, along with her stepmother, Melissa, appeared on numerous talk shows, pleading for their daughter's safe return. However, the public scrutiny intensified as inconsistencies in Melissa's account of that fateful morning began to surface. Melissa's initial statement said that Carly was wearing a white t-shirt and grey pants when she disappeared. Yet, in a subsequent interview, she claimed that Carly was dressed in jeans and a t-shirt. This discrepancy, coupled with the unsettling audio recording Melissa made of Carly on the night before her disappearance, led to a wave of public suspicion. Adding to the mystery, several witnesses reported seeing a girl matching Carly's description, walking along Highway 6 on the morning of her disappearance. These sightings, however, have never been confirmed. It's now been over 5 years since Carly Goose disappeared. Her case remains unsolved, a haunting reminder of the questions that still linger. What happened to Carly in the early hours of that October morning? Why are there inconsistencies in Melissa's accounts of the events? And most importantly, where is Carly Goose now? While the case continues to baffle investigators and captivate true crime enthusiasts, one fact remains undeniable. A young girl has vanished, leaving behind a family, a community, and an audience of millions, grappling with the chilling mystery of her disappearance. So, as we delve deeper into the abyss of the unknown, we are left pondering the unsettling reality of our world. How, in this day and age, can someone simply disappear without a trace? And will we ever uncover the truth of what happened to Carly Goose? If you have any information on the disappearance of Carly Goose, please contact Mono County Sheriff's Office by calling 760-932-5678.